Hello, and welcome back to another Northwood Tales Spoopy podcast.
Yes, and we're doing another spoopy one this week.
A ghost.
Well, it is about ghosts, yes. This one is going to be about Gray Cloud Island. Have you heard of that one? No. So this location it's actually a town. Great Cloud Island Township. It's near Cottage Grove, Minnesota, which is on the southeast, I believe. Kind of by Woodbury. It's past St. Paul.
So it's
that
close.
Side. It's over there. Yeah. It's off of the Mississippi.
It's like
that's where the island is.
Like 40 minutes away.
Yeah. So we could go there. They probably don't want us there, but we'll get to that later. Okay, so it's said that Gray Cloud Island has the highest... Okay, we're going to do a little backstory here first before we get into the spookiness. Spoopy. So this is kind of like... It's an old area. So we're going to go about the history first, and then we'll go into the spooky story pot. Okay. So it's said to have the highest concentration of Native American burial mounds of anywhere in the United States. Can you imagine? That's what they've claimed.
Good thing?
I don't know if it's a good thing, but I know there's like a lot of Sioux and a lot of, is it Cherokee? No, Chippewa.
Chippewa.
Is there Cherokee up this far north too?
I would assume
Was that
so.
okay? But there's a lot of Native American ancestry like up here in this area. Yeah, but locals aren't too keen on ghost hunters because it's this place is like technically haunted, or people say it's haunted. So the residents there aren't too keen on people going there because you could be walking on sacred burial grounds, and you don't want to be doing that just to like get a glimpse of a ghost or a spirit or something like that. That's again,
it's like last week.
Yeah,
you don't just.
It's disrespectful.
Exactly.
Like you don't do it. In fact, even the local police discourage people from trying to ghost hunt here. So even they're trying to be like, guys, don't do this.
Stop it.
It's not a good time. And I think there's a road, 2 points of entrance and 2 points of exit, because you can get on one side of the island, but I think you can go across. Or maybe it's only 1 point of entry. I don't know.
Scary.
I don't remember if I found that out or not.
Imagine if you can't get off.
Right, there's one way in and one way out, potentially.
What's the square mileage? Or feet?
I don't know. We could look it up. That I'm not sure of. I can look it up real quick later. So more on the backstory. The only Indian village known to have existed, and this is in Washington County, so that's part of that eastern part of like the Twin Cities area. It was the only known village to exist in Washington County, and there was a lot of people on the island. In the 1830s, about 40 families of one of the Dakota Sioux bands lived on the island. However, the treaties of 1837 required that all the Dakota villages be moved.
Oh.
So the families had to move to Dakota County, which I think Dakota County is north. Maybe it's south. I'm not sure.
I'm not from here.
I am, and I don't know the counties. But anyways, they had to move from their home.
Got the square mileage.
You do have the square mileage? What is it?
3.9.
Oh.
Is a
it's
small
not very
boy.
big, yeah. And it's right on, see the Mississippi's right there.
We could canoe there or kayak there.
Yeah, so technically there is, I think there is 2 points of entry there. Spoopy. It is kind of spoopy. So when the treaty was done in 1837, so everybody had to move. And this is when the fur traders began to kind of cultivate Gray Cloud Island as their home, and they would live there, and it was a lot of French-Canadian traders, I believe. Oh. And a side note, the island was named after a fur trader's mother-in-law, Margaret Moores, whose Dakota name was Gray Cloud Woman. So it was named after a Native American woman. The fur traders, let's see. Oh, they traded furs and cultivated farms where they raised corn, wheat, vegetables, and livestock.
Oh.
They were soon joined by several other fur traders and voyagers, mostly of French-Canadian heritage.
Makes sense.
And then many of them married Dakota women. And so there's a lot of Dakota and French-Canadian presence on the island. And it's still pretty prominent today. And I think they have not a national park, a nature park, I think is what they have.
State park?
Not a state park. I think it's like a nature park.
Oh.
So it's kind of protecting the burial mounds. Kind of like in Superior on the beach.
Yes.
That one little like peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
They have signs everywhere so you won't kind of trespass and walk on any of the old burial mounds, which is good. Like you don't want to do that.
Do people still go there? Yes.
Yeah.
Stupid.
When Minnesota became a state in 1858, Great Cloud Island was included in Newport Township along the St. Paul Park and Newport, which again is that eastern side. But in 1960, Newport and St. Paul Park became cities, and the remainder of Newport Township was renamed to Great Cloud Township, which is what it's known as today.
Oh.
And it's still pretty rural. I don't think there's a high population, did it say when you looked up the map?
It was.
I don't think it has a high population. Oh yeah, 300.
As of 2017.
It's about the size of my hometown.
301.
Yeah, so it's tiny. And the township, it has no schools, no churches, but they do have a church camp. We'll talk about that later. They don't have any bars, no libraries, no police station or firehouse, but it does have a quarry and about 125 houses.
Wow.
So it doesn't have anything within the city limits, but there's like the towns around them that kind of police everything. And if they need like safety with like firefighters and ambulance and stuff, they can reach them. It's not like they're so far. They're smack dab in the middle of the like Twin Cities area.
Yeah.
But nobody just wants to kind of live out on the island. I'm not sure why, but maybe it's because part of the treaty maybe they gave back some of the land to the people of Native American descent, which would make sense if they did. That'd be great. Okay, now it's time for the spooky stuff.
Spooky.
So there are many rumors surrounding Great Cloud Island, and not just paranormal ones. Remember the church camp I talked about?
Yes.
That is part of the spoopy.
Spooky.
Little culty. It gets a little weird. So many people have claimed to see a white pickup truck that will follow and chase people off or away from the island. Many people believe the truck is some sort of ghostly guardian meant to drive away intruders and unwanted guests, while others believe that this is actually a resident trying to drive people away that are invading on their private property.
Both are terrifying.
But both could be true. Well, if you believe in ghosts, then that one could potentially be true. But that'd be kind of interesting. Yeah. You know, like, I don't know if I've ever... No, I don't think I've heard of like a ghost truck. Mm-mm. I've heard of just like ghostly figures and stuff chasing people out of like houses or graveyards and stuff like that.
Would it go through you? Like if it hit
I
you,
don't
or
know.
would it actually hit you?
That's a good question.
I don't want to test it.
Because usually ghosts can't touch you. They usually can't like
they leave
cross
bruises?
the veil. They can scratch. Demons? I think it's more demonic entities that can. Usually ghosts can't really cross the veil. I think it's usually something of like a darker power that can physically hurt you. That's why there's like possessions, and it's usually demonic entities, not like just ghosts, not just spiritual residue.
So demon truck.
Well, no, I don't think it's a demon truck because no one claims to have been hurt by it. It's just that they claim that he or she chases people off the island.
Scary.
Mm-hmm. But I found a post on Reddit.
Huh?
And the user lives near the area, and they said there's a large gravel mining operation on the southern half of the island. And over the past 60 years, the company has slowly dug up huge portions of the island, creating a massive lake that now occupies the middle of the island.
Nuts.
And it, I don't know, likely destroyed more native burial sites in the process. I think that's what they said. I have it in parentheses. I think that was his statement, the Reddit user.
People here have been fighting mining for years.
And it's a big thing. Like, I'm from kind of northern Minnesota, and that's where, like, the big iron ranges. Like, it's a common thing. And people make, like, they make bank doing stuff like that, too. Like, that's their livelihood up in Hibbing.
But it can also really kill the environment.
Yeah.
So I see both parts of it. Like, you can't
and
live
that's just
on
what
that,
they're used to.
land.
It's been years.
Yeah.
Like, the Glensheen Mansion, which we'll talk about later in a different podcast if you guys want to hear more about that. That's how, I don't remember his first name, Chester Cogden.
I used to work there.
That's how he made his money, was because of the mining.
Yep.
So it's been...
And lots of other things, but...
Yeah, it was a big chunk of it. And that's how a lot of people make a living. And it's been, I don't even know, hundreds of years?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that people have done that up there.
As soon as people found that you can use mineral...
Yeah.
For profit.
But that's...
Give me that iron.
Yeah, like Hibbing, the Iron Range area, it's huge.
The Iron Range speaks for itself.
But the company is very wary of potential trespassers and patrol the island in white company pickups, which he thinks debunks the paranormal ghost pickup truck. Which makes sense, too, if they don't want people... Because what if there's people trying to mess with their machinery if they don't like mining? They don't like the digging, so they probably have the white truck security. So that makes sense. I mean, it's interesting to think that it would be a ghost of like.
What if it's a ghost driver or a demon that's driving the truck? Like, I'm gonna screw with these people.
Maybe he's like, oh, there's white trucks here. I'm gonna just steal a truck. The ghost just decides to steal the company trucks.
Yeah,
that would be a funny twist.
It's actually a ghost. Snatching people's cars.
There's a couple of different stories surrounding a green lantern that is seen on the island. It kind of like reminds me of the Great Gatsby. You see the green light.
Oh, no.
But it said that there's, I think it was like a native, some say a former Native American chief wanders around the cemetery carrying a green lantern. And others report it's Gray Cloud's daughter. And again, Gray Cloud is the woman that the island is named after. They say it's her daughter wandering the island with the lantern. And some even say that the green lantern is not carried by anyone at all. It's just kind of like floating. It simply appears and moves through the cemetery grounds in the woods and along the local road. And some people have claimed to see the greenish light in the form of an orb or cloud. So that could be like a spirit residue. So maybe it's not even a lantern. Maybe it's just like a spirit entity that's kind of glowing. Yeah. That could be too.
Can you imagine you're just like minding your own business, walking, and you see like
scared.
Green floating thing that's not a light.
Yeah. That would be terrifying. And it's interesting that there's so many different stories that I was able to find that are like, oh, well, some people say it's this, some people say it's that.
There's a lot of people who've seen it.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Or saw something. Some people thought it was like a glowing orb, which could be like people shining whatever. But if you see a figure carrying it too, that's a little weird, like in the cemetery.
If we went there at night and we saw that, I'd probably vomit.
Yeah. But I don't think we could ever get away with going there at night, which it would be cool because we have no ill intent. Like, obviously, we don't want to cause any harm to any of the grounds or anything like that, but we just want to kind of see. But I can see where they're coming from. Oh, no. So, Emily just found some hotels. I didn't think they had any hotels on the island. Is it just right next to it?
It must be right next to it.
Yeah, because Cottage Grove is right there.
Because we can stay in a ship.
Oh, that'd be cute. It's
okay, so we're going.
we could, yeah. We'd go in the daylight for sure.
I don't want. I've seen enough. I don't want to see no floaty light.
And I've seen too many ghost hunting videos to be like, let's go at night. I've seen videos where people just get spooked. No. I've seen people get scratched, and it looks like they didn't fake it. Like,
I used to give ghost tours, and I was so respectful so that I wouldn't get haunted, spoopered.
Well, the places you worked at, they weren't like, none of the ghosts were malicious. Or that
yes and
people
no.
have been reported, right? Well, maybe
Yes
at
and
the
no.
one you worked at for a little bit. Because you want to say you
Also,
worked
yes
at it?
and no.
Do you want to say where you worked?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's
Okay.
gonna be a mystery.
Okay.
I already half said it where I worked.
Oh, we kind of did.
We'll have a whole other story on like where I worked, because technically I worked at 4 haunted locations.
What was the other one? Oh.
All of them.
Oh, I forgot about the fire hall.
Right?
Yeah. I have no experience. I just like watching other people's experiences on YouTube.
I don't. I get so scared. I was traumatized when I was really little. My friend was watching like ghost reenactment, those like scary shows.
And see, I used to not like that stuff too, but I don't think it was about hauntings or anything. It was like I was afraid of it. I was like, I don't remember
like
how
the
old.
Clown?
Yes, I was terrified. I
The
cried.
new one.
No, the old one. I don't know how old I was when it came out, but I cried because my friends forced me to watch it. I was traumatized. But
See,
I'm fine with clowns.
My friends
though.
tricked me into watching The Notebook.
Oh, I've never. Never have I ever. I'd win that round.
They tricked me.
But I
They
did
said
read
it
all
was
the
an
Twilight
action.
books, so who's, you
I
know.
only read the first one.
I read all of them, and I watched all of them but the last one, so. Who actually wins? Okay.
Not us.
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, there's a lot of burial mounds on the island,
Yes.
which is probably why there is so much reported like spirit activity.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, and I feel like Native Americans are very connected to like spirituality and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They honor like the nature and they want to be respectful in that way, and they do a lot of different like, I don't want to say memorial services, but like
They celebrate.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see why there'd be a lot of activity.
There's a lot of love in their lifestyle.
And it's also said that spirits seem to become more active around the full moon, and people have reported hearing drum beats and disembodied voices.
I think it'd be,
which would make
I'd
sense
be okay.
again with the Native American.
I'd be totally okay with hearing drum beats, because that's such a good thing.
It's like
The
they're doing
drums
some
is-
sort of ceremony.
That's such a good thing. So I'd be okay with hearing that.
Yeah. It's not like, you know, culty. If it was like weird cult chanting, then I'd be concerned. But like,
How we run.
yeah, with like drums, and I think people have even said that up in Superior by the mountains. Have people reported that? They
I
hearing
don't know.
drums? I thought that sounds familiar. Maybe.
Probably.
Don't take my word for it. I haven't researched that. And they also said they've seen a spirit of a woman that wanders the island looking for and mourning for her lost child, which
Aw.
may or may not be Grey Cloud's daughter that's wandering.
Sad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay. And now we're getting to the non-paranormal of the island.
I'm here for ghosts.
So, like I said, there's no churches on the island, but there is a church camp located on the island, and it's said to be a cult or even a secret KKK camp.
Well, they're canceled.
Yeah. So there's rumors, and I actually went to this place's website. It's Camp Galilee?
Galilee.
Galilee. Galilee. I went to a small town, and my spelling is awful, and my reading is awful.
It's in the Bible. Galilee. It's a place. It's
I didn't
okay.
go to church that much. I went to youth group, but that was it. Anyways, it was established in 1958, and it's a part of the Minnesota District United Pentecostal Church.
Pentecostal.
Yes, I said it, but I said
Pentecostal.
Church International. Their website says that they offer family camp, youth camp, and junior camp, along with many other retreats.
Good.
And honestly, there's nothing really out of the ordinary on the website that I found. It was all pretty regular.
Nowadays, you really can't.
Right? Yeah. And it
But
looked pretty
way
similar.
back then.
Yeah, right. But who knows if there's like other groups that sneak onto the grounds during other times of the year.
Nah.
And use it for other purposes, because they only have these like camps during the summer, which makes sense because I went to a summer church camp.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't hold it any other year. Like why would you?
You don't want to go in the wintertime?
In Minnesota, why would you?
It's cold.
So who knows who else kind of could come on the grounds during like the spring or like off hours.
They have their own secret cult time.
Because sometimes camps are just during the day. Sometimes, like, mine was like a week-long thing, so we did spend the night. But that only runs for like a couple of weeks during the summer, like maybe 6 or 8 weeks. So who knows what else gets done, or even on the weekends.
Yeah.
What could get done there? What could happen? That's that's a little sketch. There actually, and I spent a lot of time on Reddit researching this. So another Reddit user that commented on a thread that I found said they drove down, because you have to go down the long, kind of narrow, not narrow, I guess, but there's a long way down the island to get to this camp. It's kind of more, even though the island is rural, it goes onto like the really rural side, even more so.
I'm sure like one side is more houses and the other side is just
So this one, the houses are pretty like staggered.
Okay. Oh, so it's not as populated.
No. So they decided to drive down the camp on a summer weekend around midnight. Again, the weekend.
Don't do things at midnight. Right? Ghosts come out.
And on the weekend, well, yeah, that's probably what they intended to do. But on the weekend, there probably wouldn't be camp because it's usually during the week.
Yeah.
So who's to say if this was or isn't the actual owners of the camp?
Oh. Were they cults?
That's what they think. No. That's what they think. Whether it's the church's cult or whether it's someone else's cult that just decides to use their property.
Nuts.
Which who would want to use a church's property?
Now you're going to make them look bad.
Well, they probably don't care.
No.
The street leading up to the camp is like a 3-mile road surrounded by forest, some houses. So you wouldn't assume that there would be a lot of traffic. They said that this particular night there was easily 20 to 30 cars that they passed going down the road towards the camp. Because I think they were looping and on their way back, is what they made it sound like.
That's a lot of vehicles.
Yeah. At midnight. This is at midnight.
A cult.
It's looking very suspicious. I can't, attest the credibility of this. There's no way of actually figuring it out. So it seems a little weird given the circumstances of everything. Other than that, there's no evidence that I've found really that supports the theory besides what people have posted, like word of mouth. But honestly, what are you gonna find? No one in like a cult like that.
Be like, hey, we got a cult. Come on, Saturday nights.
Yeah, no one's gonna post about it. It's just like theories
especially
that you hear.
Using someone else's land.
Right. That's one I can handle ghosts, I think.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like
humans.
Yeah.
I'm
and
out.
That like cult like
I feel like ghosts are predictable. Humans are not.
No. And you hear so much more spooky stuff about cults. Like they don't care what they do. Like it's
I don't like it. So we're gonna go to the island for ghosts.
Just for ghosts during the day when they're less active. Let's see here. What else?
Or will we go at night? I'll bring my glow sticks.
I mean, I will. I want to buy a spirit box. EVP. Yeah? No? Okay.
You can, or you use it over there. I'm going to be somewhere else.
Even though I couldn't find anything else, I came across a few stories of people reaching out to various members of the Historical Society for a guided tour, and they have been denied.
Oh.
And that's
they're probably like, get out of here.
That's kind of fishy. I think one person said they were going to, if I remember the story correct, they said that they were going to, like, oh yeah, I can totally, like, give you a tour of the cemetery and stuff like that. Because, what if someone's really into genealogy and they wanted to see the gravesite?
You probably have to be like, this is my purpose.
Yeah. And they have, like, because they know there's that app or that website that you can do the find a grave.
Yeah.
So maybe they were researching for heritage, but, like, the person backed out on them.
Wow.
They kind of were just like, no, I can't give you a tour.
Maybe it's like, well, if we do it for one, then we have to do it for this one and the next one and the next one. Then soon everyone's going to be like, I want a tour. Yes, I'm looking for this one person.
And
I don't know their name.
And he wants to do a background check for all that stuff.
I don't blame him, but it's also like, you could straight out say no tours because.
Yeah.
Because. That's what I say.
Because then it would get more attention and be like like word of mouth. Be like, oh, they let me in to like do this and this.
Exactly. Yep. Word of mouth travels so fast here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it would be really interesting to go there.
Yes.
Just to see if like maybe we saw something kind of crazy, not culty. I don't want to deal with that.
If I see that little glowy green light, I'm a.
Oh, I think that would be the most interesting.
I want to hear the drum beats.
Yeah. If, like, it would be interesting and kind of, because I haven't ever experienced anything in person.
Spoopy.
Yeah, no ghostly, but I want to say I believe in it, at least like spiritual residue and stuff like that. I don't know if ghost is the right word, but like same thing. But I haven't had an experience myself to validate it. So if you like to be able to visually see something or hear something, because I've had in my family.
She heard us talk about ghosts. She's like, yes,
introducing
I'm a witch
our cat again. Oh, there she goes.
She got scared. She got stage fright.
She got spooked. But like I've had family members that's had experiences and stuff like that, and it just kind of
a lot of these experiences. A lot of them is you don't know how to even form sentences about what you experienced. Mm-hmm. It's always like something happened.
Yeah, because who's to say it's just something that your mind kind of makes up, and you're just like,
or it's like, no, we saw something.
Yeah,
but you're like, but
did we?
So not even. It's like your subconscious is like, we saw something, but like this part is like, I'm gonna try to figure this out.
Right.
But you can't, and you're like, I'm stuck.
Yeah. So you want it, it's more of like a logical thing. I think that is for a lot of people too.
Yeah.
They try to like find the logical explanation. And I do that a lot too, but some stuff just doesn't seem to be easy to explain. Some are harder than others.
Yeah.
But do you think it could be ghost activity on the island, or do you think...
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe in the white ghost truck? Yeah, I think I would say it's probably, after reading that Reddit post, it's probably that company.
The drum beats and possibly the light. Possibly.
Yeah.
Drum beats for sure.
Yeah.
That energy is still there. Because you can't, once energy is created, you can't, it just keeps happening.
Yeah, it doesn't really have anywhere to go.
Stop energy.
Yeah.
However, a smart physicist says it.
Yeah. And I mean... Usually, do they still... Because I know your mom did Native American studies.
Yes,
do Native Americans... I don't know if it depends on if they're on a reservation, but if there's more of a community, I'm sure they would do these ceremonies. I'm just curious if they still have a lot of the community still on the island that still does those type of like ceremonies and stuff with the drums that... They keep
it could have been from long ago.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, it could be ghost, it could be energy, it could be still the people that are kind of...
I mean, it's with some ghost stories, like usually it's...
What is the word?
A ghost is someone who has unfinished business. So there could have been someone of that community who just, that's what they love to do. And then when they passed, it's like, oh, no, wait, I still want to do the drum thing. Or it's just that entire entity. Like, it could be the drum itself. We don't know.
Well, that's an interesting theory. Because I don't think... Has there been, like... I haven't read too many stories about, like, ghostly inanimate objects. It's usually, like, humanoid or demonic.
Or cats. Ghost cat. Queen Mary. Look that one up if you're bored.
Has there been a lot of reports of ghost animals?
There's a ghost cat on the Queen Mary.
Oh.
Look that up if you're bored. It's fun.
I guess I haven't heard too many. But I guess it makes sense.
Yes.
I don't know if I've researched anything thus far, but maybe I should look into that for some episodes.
Ghost pets.
Ghost pets.
That's fun. We're going to go. I feel like we should at least go close to the island.
Just to see it.
Again,
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be a jerk.
That's the main thing.
And now you want to go, don't be a jerk.
Right? Yeah. If you listen to this, just be kind. That's all. Yeah. That's all anyone ever asks for, too.
Be kind.
It's not hard.
It's not hard.
But thanks for joining us today. Yes. Thanks for watching, listening.
Yeah. If you're watching this, thank you.
Yeah. Leave us a like or subscribe or follow or whatever, because we're on You're watching this on YouTube possibly. You are listening to this on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play. If you're on any one of those.
Or Patreon.
Which
we'll be putting all of our ghost adventures.
Or the behind the scenes. We want to try to put some like kind of vlog stuff on this channel.
But the good
stuff will be on the Patreon.
Yes.
So it'll be the more interesting stuff for the goofy stuff. Whichever one. Or both.
The extra spooky.
The extra spooky.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.